Hola chula, thank you so much for clicking on to this video, and if you are new here, well then hi, hello, my name is Kai, and this is my little corner on the internet. And yes, I did say it differently that time. I was feeling very festive, 'tis the season or whatever, as they say, and it got me to thinking about, what some of my experiences around the holidays or the holiday season was growing up, as JW. If this sort of video is interesting to you, then I would so love it if you hit that subscribe button, because this is definitely something that you will be seeing more of on my channel. And yeah, without further ado, let's get into it.
Can I get your name and where you're from, if you don't mind?
I'm Kai.
Kai, can I get spelling for you, buddy?
Straight out of Dogtown, Kai.
So I think one of the things that most people know about JWs, or probably a lot of times the only thing that they know, is that they don't celebrate holidays. They say that there is like biblical reasoning, and that holidays are man-made conduits for commercialism to be commercialism. Celebrating holidays somehow takes away from your worship of God. Don't ask me how, but that's just how they see them. Growing up in school, like obviously, when the holidays come around every year, the teachers plan fun activities to do with the kids and everything. And if you're, Jehovah's Witness and you are like literally removed from the classroom, like you're having to go to the library, or they put you, just like or sometimes they make you sit in the hall. Like they just make you like stay away from everyone else from like during the activity, and then after it's over, you can come back in the classroom again. And it's obviously like just following your parents' wishes, right? Like no teacher probably wants to isolate one child, or maybe if you're lucky, a handful of kids from the rest of the group. For any sort of reason, everyone wants to be included. They want to make sure all the kids have a good time. But if your parents are like asking them to do this because it's what their religion teaches them, then yeah, it is very difficult to be a Jehovah's Witness during the holiday season, especially as a child. It like implants the idea very early on in your youth of this us versus them mentality that the organization really likes to reinforce. It's your first experience being noticeably different, and I think that a lot of like their ideas can make you sort of feel very alone, or possibly very like terminally unique, maybe. But you're told, that when you're not at the meetings, when you're not with your brothers and sisters, then you are in Satan's world. And it's a fear tactic that they use to keep people inside, of course. It just sort of sets you up for, the rest of your life, and every other place and everywhere else that you go, and every other person that you interact with, you are different, and they know this about you, and they will turn against you because they are part of Satan's system of things. So obviously, like anyone else, like I wanted to feel normal. I wanted to fit in. It was very difficult for me to be so different in such an obstructive manner, because it is like totally your whole life. It is all encompassing, and I wanted a space to feel normal. And it was especially difficult to sort of blur those lines in elementary school because of the holidays. And I remember, during winter break, those like few days that are like aren't Christmas, but they aren't New Year's quite yet, where we would just be, off of school and at home. Like I remember a lot of stress and pressure to like get my parents to purchase me something, to purchase me new clothes, or just something, new shoes, or just something special, so that I could come back from winter break and when people are talking about like what Christmas presents they got and what their parents got for them, I had something to like say, here's what my parents got for me, or here's what I got this year. It's just like another way that I like sort of blended in, or I kind of made those differences less apparent to everyone around me. Like I never celebrated any holidays at all, ever. But every year, my parents would forget, or just, I don't know, they must have forgotten. They must have literally, truly forgotten that Valentine's Day was a thing, because every single year I got away with celebrating Valentine's Day. even like with my teachers, like I wouldn't say anything. I never said anything. They never said anything. They were looking out for me too. And I would do Valentine's Day stuff. I would make my own Valentines, and I would get Valentines, and I would, just hand them out to people. And it was like a big deal to me every single year, because it was the one time that I felt like I was a part of something, or that I was like a part of the group. And it was just such a special day to me, like every single year. And even like still today is such a special day to me. Not even for like the fact of whatever Valentine's is even supposed to be about. Like, it's literally just an excuse for Hallmark to sell us cheap cards. Like, that's literally all it is. But I love it. I love the aesthetic of Valentine's Day. I love Valentine's Day colors. I have a whole tattoo sleeve literally dedicated to Valentine's Day, because it is truly one of my most favorite and special days of the whole year. I just got to be normal that day. I didn't have to be the Jehovah's Witness kid that day. It was just always a very special day to me. I've had many years now to experience holidays and to do holiday activities and things, and have all the experiences. And to be honest, I still don't really get it. I guess a lot of it is still lost on me. And maybe it's because like I'm a young person. I don't have a family. Like, I don't have a husband or kids or anything like that, where the holidays would maybe come with some more pressure, some more stress attached. I don't even do a tree. I mean, because then I'd have to buy a tree. Okay, then I'd have to buy all the trinkets. And then where does it stop? Literally, then where do I keep the trinkets for the rest of the year? I still don't understand. Like, do people have a special closet in their houses designed, like, just dedicated to, like, Halloween and Christmas decorations? I don't understand. Like, how do you keep all that shit in your house? And it's just, like, it just lives there, like, until the next time you need it again. I don't know. It just seems very inefficient to me. Just in my opinion. I've done Christmas. I've dressed up on Halloween. I've had Thanksgiving dinner. Thanksgiving food is bottom tier food. Like, I can't eat half of it anyway because I'm vegan vegetarian, so it's like whatever. It's just like none of these days are like incredibly special to me, where I feel some sort of like need to uphold a tradition or to go out of my way to do something. Like, is it nice to have some time off to spend with friends and family? Yeah, of course, obviously. Who doesn't want that? But it's like at the same time, like, you can do that whenever you want. Like, it doesn't have to be around any certain time of year. Like, the fact that we all happen to have, like, these, like, few days off every single year is because it's just part of our culture. It's part of our society. It's just ingrained. It's just how it's been for, however many hundreds of years now. I think that there's a certain aesthetic and a certain, like, warmth. A certain warmth, coziness, lightness. Like, I think it's a very light and wonderful and delightful time of year. It's hard not to acknowledge that. My first time celebrating holidays, I did experience a lot of guilt because I felt like I was doing something wrong, or like doing something that I wasn't supposed to be doing. Because literally, just my whole life, I grew up thinking that it was wrong, or that somehow what these, traditions are like satanic or pagan or just whatever. Like, these things that, like, I'm not even scared of anyway. So literally, why does it matter? But it makes sense to feel some sort of guilt, or like some sort of like, I don't know, like ultimate conclusion to something. Like, wow, I really can't ever go back anymore. The excitement of trying something new, of being open-minded to having new experiences, outweighed that guilt, and I celebrate holidays as freely as I please, as much or as little as I want. I don't really understand, again, like all of the stress or like the societal pressure to like do a big Christmas tree or to decorate my house. Like, maybe if I had a house and I had a husband, I would feel differently. Ask me these questions when I have a house and when I have a hot husband. I mean, like, I feel like if I had kids, I would probably do more holiday stuff. I mean, because I feel like you kind of have to. Like, I don't know, it's like part of the fun of being a kid. Holidays are like pretty much the most fun when you're a kid. Maybe I'm just doomed forever to not understand. But who knows? I think it's absolutely silly and ridiculous that something as simple as having dinner with your family and sharing what you're grateful for, sharing, what makes you happy or what brings you joy with the people that you love, why that would be wrong, why it's something that you're not supposed to do, or something that somehow degrades God or like dirties or sullies your relationship with him. it just doesn't make sense. You know, like I'm trying to, like, I don't even think that there's any necessarily like biblical reason behind it either. I think it's literally just because one guy one day was like, hey, you know what? No. I don't want to do Christmas. I don't want to do Thanksgiving. Fuck Mother's Day. Especially fuck Mother's Day. Mother's Day was like the first one on the chopping block. Actually, literally, because one of the presidents of their church was like, oh, women don't deserve a day to be exalted. Like, okay, like, yes, check please. Absolutely, that man is a sexist and is not afraid about hiding it, because this is the 1900s and you don't have to worry about whether or not people think you're a sexist. Just like these arbitrary rules that were made by imperfect men who literally just created stuff out of their own whim, their own desire to shape people's beliefs and thoughts according to what they wanted them to think. If that is not harmful or not dangerous sounding to you, then I just don't know. You know, I just can't relate. I got over the initial guilt and shame of it because in a way it's like those are byproducts of my before life, if you want to say. And they don't have any bearing and they don't have to have any weight on my real everyday actual life. In many ways, this like before time is like not a real life, and my real life started, you know, the day that I left and the day that I like started doing for my own and thinking for myself. These, you know, things that I'm feeling guilt or that I'm feeling shame over don't have any actual play here. That's sort of how it has to be. You have to allow yourself to be so far removed from this. Like, is it good to learn from it and good to grow from that and share your experiences? Yes, 100%. But it can't have any sort of hold on who you are today. Because if who you are today is still being controlled and dominated by the rules of this system over here, then what did you actually leave? But did you actually leave? No. No, you did not. And you need to figure that out. Love yourself more than to be controlled or to be manipulated by stupid things. Like, literally, I can't see any negative or any, like, consequence to celebrating a holiday, to having a Christmas tree in your house, to going to a Catholic mass, to going to, you know, Sunday service, you know, for whatever, you know, Christmas Eve, whatever you do, whatever you want to practice, whatever it is that, you know, is your tradition. What religion, what man has the right to tell you that you're not able to have those traditions? Point to the scripture. I'll wait. We'll be here forever, but I will wait. But yeah, that was just my thought, just my opinion, and just my video. And if you like this video, then you can leave it a like. And if you like me, then you can subscribe to this channel where I will be posting more videos talking about whatever I want, whenever I want, because this is my channel and that's what we do here. So subscribe! And as always, chulas, I hope that you are having very happy holidays, but also having a beautiful, wonderful, amazing rest of your day. Bye, chulas.